In this video, we will discuss how you can use Netlify to host your website. So Netlify is an online free platform that you can use to run your code. One thing to note is Netlify does not support database services. So if your website has some backend integrated to it, then maybe Netlify isn't the solution for you. However, there are some plugins that you could integrate in order to add a backend to your website that's hosted on Netlify. However, if you know that your website is static, there's no backend integration, it's just front-end code like HTML, CSS, React, and so on. If your code uses these technologies, then Netlify is a great, free, convenient option for you. To follow along, what you'll need to do is create a Netlify account as well as a GitHub account if you don't already have one. So you may want to pause this recording and create a GitHub account and a Netlify account. Once you've done so, you can go ahead and log in. I've already logged into my Netlify account using GitHub, and this is what my dashboard looks like. To the left, you have all information about the sites, builds, integration, and so on. And if you have logged into your account for the first time, it's possible that your dashboard has no websites hosted. And on top, perhaps this is all zero as well because we haven't created a website yet. So before we add a new site, we'll need to ensure that we have a repository on GitHub which has some code in it. So GitHub is a platform that you can use to collaborate with others on projects. It's mainly used to collaborate on with when you're dealing with code. If you don't already have a repository that you want to host, then you can go ahead and click New from your GitHub dashboard once you've logged in and give your project a name. I'm going to call mine First Project. You can add a description for your project. This is usually very short and it's optional, just an overview of what this code or website is all about. Then you have the option to select a public or private repository. If you don't want others to be able to see your code, then you don't want to choose public, you should choose private. However, if you're fine with other people like recruiters, friends, or family being able to see your code, then go ahead and select public. By default, it's going to be public. You can initialize a README, which is a file that helps you describe your project and features in it at length. And the rest we can skip over and leave to be default right now. Create repository. In here, we can add code ourselves, or you can use GitHub Desktop in order to create some code that's locally made, and then you can add it to your repository. If you want to follow along and create code from scratch just for testing purposes, you can create a new file right here. We'll call this index.html and we'll have an HTML page. Within this, we'll have the head of the page, so opening tag head. Following that, we'll need the body, and in the head, let's just say title, hosting a website using Netlify, and in the body we can simply write an h1 tag, and inside this we can write welcome to my website, because it's yours and you're going to probably build and scale on this. So let's do that. Paragraph, hello world, just for fun. And now we can commit these changes directly. So yeah, created index.html file, commit the change, and it automatically reflects in your repository right away. So now that we have some code that we can use when we host our website and see the result, we can go back to Netlify, add a new site. import from an existing project that we've just created. Select GitHub as the platform that we'll use for deploying our project. It'll ask you to log in if it's your first time. Since I've already logged in using GitHub, it said I'm authorized. In here, you may want to search for your repository. So the one we just created is called First Project. I'm going to select First Project. And you can configure your site name. So let's call ours First Project. And this usually doesn't allow you to use capital alphabets. And the extension is always going to be netlify.app unless you specify otherwise. You can check the availability. This is not available currently. Firstproject.netlify.app has been taken by someone else. So let's change this to Jenny's First Project. Check for availability. And this is taking a while. Let's see what else we have. So we want to deploy our main branch and we're almost ready. This site name is available, so we can scroll down and deploy Jenny's first project. This might take a second. So you'll see that currently it's deploying your site. If you want, you can integrate a custom domain as well as add an SSL certificate to make sure your website is secure. If not, if you're not too concerned about the security and you're fine with your website being called the name that was available, .netlify.app, then just wait for this to say deployed or successful. And this usually takes 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll check out our website when this is done. 2 minutes later, this website is ready. So if you click on this link, it says welcome to my website, and we can see what the heading and paragraph that we had in our index.html file. So our website has been successfully published, and that's how you can quickly host your static front-end forward website using Netlify for free.